It was a Friday evening, one of those rare moments when the city seemed to exhale, slowing its relentless pace. I left work early, a mix of anticipation and unease bubbling inside me. My plan was to surprise my wife, Sarah. For the past few months, something had felt off. A subtle change in her tone, a distracted glance, the way she gripped her phone a little tighter whenever I walked into the room. I tried to chalk it up to stress or fatigue, but after 8 years of marriage, I knew our rhythm, our morning coffees, our laughter at dinner. The quiet talks before bed had always been steady. But lately, it had started to shift. Late-night work calls became a regular thing. Her phone was always face down on the table. She started going to bed much later than me, claiming she couldn't sleep. That night, driving home, hope and apprehension were my passengers. I had texted her earlier saying I'd be working late, just so she wouldn't expect me. I needed to see what her evenings were like when she thought I wasn't around. The house was completely silent when I got there. No music, no TV, just the soft hum of the fridge and the steady tick of the clock. Her purse was on the counter, her shoes by the door. She was home. I called her name softly. Nothing. Then I heard a faint creak from the bedroom door upstairs. My heart began to race as I climbed the stairs. The door to our room was slightly ajar, a thin sliver of warm light cutting through the dark hallway. I pushed it open gently. Sarah was sitting on the edge of the bed, her back to me, her face lit by the glow of her phone. When she turned, our eyes locked. Panic flared across her features, the kind only guilt can produce. Her breath hitched and her hands trembled. In that instant, I understood everything. She tried to shield her phone against her chest. "You're home early," she stammered, her voice shaky. "Yeah," I said softly, stepping into the room. It just hadn't felt right to stay late. Her eyes flickered to the nightstand, a reflex she couldn't hide. A half-filled glass of wine sat there, and beside it, another, untouched, as if waiting for someone. "No, I just poured to by mistake," she said, getting up too quickly. Her hand brushed the second glass, spilling a bit on the floor. She muttered something under her breath and turned away, pretending to clean it up. But my attention wasn't on the wine. It was on her. Every micro-expression screamed fear, guilt, and a desperate hope that I hadn't noticed. But I had every late night, every secret message, every flimsy excuse it, all led to this moment. "Who is he?" I asked at last. My voice was calm, steady, and unnervingly quiet. She froze, her shoulders stiff. Silence stretched between us, broken only by the clock ticking downstairs. "It's not what you think," she whispered, her voice cracking. I let out a bitter laugh, shaking my head. "Then what is it, Sarah?" Tears pooled in her eyes as she finally faced me. "It was a mistake. I didn't mean for it to happen. I felt lonely. You've been so distant, and I stepped back before she could reach for me. The space between us now felt like a canyon, impossible to cross. For a second, I thought of all the memories we'd made in this house. The laughter, the quiet nights, the whispered dreams, but they felt like a cruel illusion. Just then, her phone buzzed. We both saw it. The name on the screen confirmed everything. Mark, her coworker. She lunged for it, but I was faster, snatching it from her hand. I looked at the screen, then back at her. "So, this is him," I said quietly. "The man you risked everything for." She collapsed into sobs, trying to explain, to justify what couldn't be justified. I didn't yell. I didn't throw anything. I just stood there and listened as her words dissolved into broken apologies. When she finally fell silent, I placed the phone on the dresser. "You know what hurts the most?" I said softly. "It's not the affair. It's that I kept telling myself I was imagining it, that you'd never betray me. And I was wrong." Tears streamed harder down her cheeks. "Please don't go. We can fix this," she begged, but there was nothing left to fix. You can patch a cracked wall, but you can't rebuild one that's been completely demolished. I turned toward the door, pausing for one last look. She stood there, trembling, her face a mess of tears, finally realizing the full weight of what she had lost. "And maybe now you understand," I said quietly. "I had known all along. I just hadn't wanted to admit it to myself." I walked out, closing the door behind me. The house felt different as I went downstairs, quieter, colder, almost alien. I grabbed my keys, stepped outside, and took a deep breath of the cool night air. For the first time in months, I felt free. Through the upstairs window, I could see her silhouette, frozen in place. My chest ached. But I knew this was the moment everything changed, the moment I finally faced the truth I had been running from.